What's the most creative way you've outsmarted a strict teacher? Junior year, Mrs. Hendricks was absolutely obsessed with attendance. Like, genuinely obsessed. She offered 50 bonus points, basically half a letter grade, for perfect attendance. No exceptions. If you're sick, take medicine and come anyway, she'd say. Real professionals don't miss work. The problem? She refused to excuse anyone for anything. Doctor's appointment? Too bad. Stomach flu? Should have come anyway. Here's the thing. I was pulling a C+ in her class, not because I was failing tests, but because I'd missed 3 days earlier that semester when my grandmother died, and she wouldn't excuse those either. Said funerals weren't academic emergencies. Those 50 bonus points weren't just extra credit to me. They were the difference between getting into my dream college and not. So when I woke up that Tuesday with a 102-degree fever, my whole body aching, my throat feeling like I'd swallowed glass, I stared at the ceiling and did the math in my head. Miss today, lose the points, show up, keep my grade alive. My mom came in, put her hand on my forehead, and immediately said I was staying home. I actually started crying, not because I felt terrible, though I did, but because I could see my entire future crumbling over a stupid attendance policy. I tried to explain it to her, about the points, about college, about how missing 1 day would destroy everything I'd worked for. She looked at me like her heart was breaking. "This is insane," she whispered, but she saw how desperate I was. She let me go. I showed up to first period looking like death. The fluorescent lights felt like knives in my eyes. I could barely hold my head up, but I wasn't alone. Devin was there with a trash can next to his desk, his face literally gray. Becca was shaking with chills, wrapped in 2 hoodies even though it was warm. Jordan kept leaving to throw up in the bathroom every 20 minutes. Half the class was there, and half the class looked like they should have been in a hospital. We'd all made the same calculation. We'd all chosen attendance points over our health, and the worst part, we all knew it was wrong. I caught Becca's eye at one point, and she just looked so tired. Not physically tired, emotionally exhausted, like she'd given up fighting a system that didn't care about us. Mrs. Hendricks walked in, took one look at us, and didn't even pause. She started teaching like we weren't sitting there suffering, like the sound of coughing and sniffling every 10 seconds was just background noise. I remember thinking, does she not see this? Does she not care? I put my head down on my desk during her lecture. I'd never done that before. She walked over and said, "Sit up, please. This material will be on the test." I wanted to scream. Instead, I sat up and tried to focus while my vision blurred and my fever climbed higher. At one point, I honestly wasn't sure if I was going to pass out. Becca actually did pass out. The nurse had to come get her, but she came back before the period ended because she was terrified of it counting as absent. By Wednesday, more people had caught whatever we had. By Thursday, the classroom sounded like a tuberculosis ward. We were all zombies, just trying to survive until the semester ended. Then Mrs. Hendricks didn't show up Thursday or Friday. The substitute told us she had the flu. Someone laughed, actually laughed, and then felt bad about it. But we were all thinking the same thing. We'd given it to her. Our perfect attendance had become her nightmare. When she came back the following week, she looked like we'd felt. Exhausted, pale, moving slow. She set her bag down and just stood there for a moment, staring at us. Someone in the back, I think it was Tiffany, raised her hand and asked, "Mrs. Hendricks, did you lose your perfect attendance bonus too?" The room went dead silent. Mrs. Hendricks stared at us for a solid 10 seconds. Then she pulled out the syllabus, crossed out the attendance policy with a thick red marker, and said, "New rule, if you're sick, stay home. I'm begging you. Best 50 points I never earned."